What's up, MMT? Hear the music in the background? I don't know what's gonna be next, so good luck. So, I want to talk to y'all right quick about the bike trip. Yeah, so I want people, we want people to set goals and like live a life that they think they can, right? But a lot of times it's scary, it's terrifying, because you don't know what you don't know, right? I don't know anything about biking, so but I love the challenge of the thought of a bike. So I was like, hey, this is something I want to do. This is something I've got to figure out. So start out with a simple Google search, just like top bike rides in the U.S. And then I was talking to my dad who lives in Ohio, and he's like, hey, look up this one, which was on top bike rides. So I looked at it and I was like, hey, it's challenging. It's 326 miles. Not super familiar with Ohio. And then I was like, for me, it really came down to like the whole safety aspect because I'm not a biker. I don't know anything about, like I said, bicycling. I typically hate it. A majority of that bike ride is going to be on a paved trail, not a road, not a sidewalk, a paved trail. So I was like, okay, that was it met like hey, these are the parameters I have. This is what I want to do. So I was like, let's go for it. So first step, figure out your goal, figure out what you want to do. Google, talk to friends, and don't let people tell you like it sounds crazy or you can't do it. If someone starts telling you that right away, walk away from the conversation. So if you want to do it, you can. Right? All right. So you got your goal, you got your parameters, and then what do you do next? So for me, it was just like, all right. I started Googling. It's called the OTET, Ohio to Erie Trail. And what I did was found their website. They had a whole website dedicated. This was a big thing in Ohio. So I was like, oh, cool. And then part of it was getting maps. You guys see these right here? Bam, bam, bam. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to go through these maps, get a rough idea of like the mileage and stuff I think I can do, and then we're gonna go from there. You can see I got bike trip thoughts. Got my lovely pen and paper. Not to nerd out, right? And then hopefully I'll be talking to my buddy, the guy who's gonna be doing the trail with me, the whole trail with me, later today. And we're just gonna go from there. It's that's how it works out. Like, this isn't gonna be perfect. I don't expect this to be like, hey, I'm gonna plan it today. Shit's gonna go great. You guys that have been following this page since its creation, if you remember the walk across Iowa, no good. I had this great grand plan, and I think that lasted like 3 days, 2 days. It didn't last long. So, but the point is, you build the plan. You get some type of level of comfort that's like, hey, all right, I can do this, right? Or I'm accepting like the challenge and the risk of this particular challenge. So that's where it all starts out. And then so ideally, you gave yourself plenty of prep time and planning. So I picked this event out months and months and months and months ago, and then now I've ordered these maps. Once again, ordered these maps. I had these maps for about 2 months, and then my buddy just got his maps the other day. So bike's not till June 2nd through the 9th. So we have the time, and now we're just trying to build the plan, right? So these are the steps. These are like how I start my process on these goals and these things I want to do. Our monthly challenges typically don't require a whole bunch of planning. Next month it's gonna have to be like 7,000 steps a day. That's pretty simple, right? You can do it on treadmill, you can do it outside, you can do it in your day-to-day job, just walking from office to office, place to place, outside, wherever. But my big challenges, these big challenges that we plan for every year, take a lot of planning, logistics, and things like that. So it's super important to actually figure out a process, right? And this process for me is just getting refined because I've done these events now. It's we're going on our third year. Um, so it's getting better, it's getting smoother, but it's by no means still easy, especially because a lot of these big events aren't like in my local area. All right, the walk was the closest thing, um, and the 72 rounds of golf, 72 holes of golf a day for 5 days was local too. So, but these bigger challenges outside of a state, right, is definitely a lot more planning. So yeah, just want to binge your guys' ear a little bit. Hopefully you get something out of it. Don't let people tell you no. Don't let people tell you can't. At the end of the day, it's they don't know you. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know your mentality. They don't know your struggle, right? They don't know where you're at on the spectrum of happiness to sadness. And sadness, anger, all those can be great motivators. So you don't always just have to be happy, right? So, yeah, don't let people tell you no, MMT. Don't let people tell you can't. If it's something you think you really want to do, be willing to take the chance, be willing to fail, but more importantly, be willing to enjoy the process and learn from the experience as a whole. That's all I got. You guys have a great day. I'm going to get off here and start my planning. Stay sane, y'all.